generating hundreds of millions of dollars for e-commerce brands over the last 8 years, one thing is held true. Without systems, things will absolutely 100% of the time break. Now that's true across paid ads like Meta and Google and TikTok, and also across email and retention and referral and loyalty systems as well. I've had the privilege to work across all of these different realms over the last 8 years. I built, scaled, and sold an agency in the paid ad space, and now I currently run a retention optimization agency for D2C brands doing over $1 million a year. And these are the 4 systems that I've found have exponential impact on results for e-commerce brands. And it pretty much works across the board. It doesn't really matter what niche you're in. So let's dive in here with system number 1. Imagine picking up a red phone by the pool and moments later, someone in white gloves appears with a popsicle on a silver tray just for you. In their book, The Power of Moments, Chip and Dan Heath share a secret behind one of the highest rated hotels in LA. It's called the Magic Castle Hotel. Now, have you ever wondered why some places or some experiences just stick with you forever while others will just fade away no matter how great they were in the moment? Now, you're probably thinking about one right now, but the Magic Castle Hotel isn't like some crazy luxurious place. It's literally just a converted apartment building, but it beat out brands like the Four Seasons. But through playful touches like their popsicle hotline and then free unlimited snacks, it creates micro moments so delightful that guests rank it higher than 5-star hotels, which is pretty ridiculous. But here's the thing, most brands completely miss these opportunities. Most brands don't even get these opportunities. We follow the same thing that literally everyone else is doing, and more often than not, what other people are doing is actually not the best. Now, creating these moments doesn't need to be some crazy grandiose thing, and it doesn't need to cost a lot either. It's just about being a little bit more intentional. Now, a really great and actionable place to start with is actually talking to your customers and building a feedback loop around them, whether it's new customers or the almost type customers or first-time customers or repeat purchasers or VIPs, whoever it might be. Creating these conversations and having these conversations with customers, depending on where they're at in their customer journey, will help you learn so much more than if you were to just, run some random tests. If you actually ask people what they want to see, if you actually ask new customers why they came to you in the first place, or people who just subscribe to your email list, if you ask them, hey, why did you subscribe? What are you looking for from our brand? What is your desired outcome? If you ask these things, you're going to generate so much more meaningful zero-party data. It's not first-party or second-party or third-party data. It's not ChatGPT. It is literally coming straight from the horse's mouth, and there's no better way to learn what your customers want than to ask them straight up, right? And think about this throughout the buying cycle too, right? Like the new customers or the people who haven't purchased from you before and who are just opting in, who just joined your journey, that's going to be different than people who maybe got to the checkout page and didn't purchase. Why didn't they purchase? Is there something that's holding them back? Is there something that you can do to make them feel more comfortable or to eliminate some of their objectives? Or their objections, I should say, right? Now, same with first-time customers. How do you determine which of those first-time customers turn into repeat purchasers or VIPs? Well, maybe what you learn is that after talking with some of them is that, hey, you know what? Maybe you sell skincare, right? And initially, you didn't provide any sort of context on how to get the best results out of those skincare products, right? So people were using them, but you're like, dude, no, you're using it all wrong. You're not going to get the results that you want because of XYZ. Now, if you tell people this, or if you can educate them and make sure that they actually get the desired result, if you can increase the amount of people who come back from first-time customers to repeat or VIPs, you're going to have dramatically different outlooks on your LTV. You're going to get more profit. You're going to have more repeat purchasers, which is going to take some of the load off of your front-end cost per acquisition as well, right? And then for your VIPs, like, hey, you've been buying from us for X amount of months or X amount of years, or you've bought X amount of products. Thank you. But also, like, why? Straight, that's it. Why, period. Like, why have you come back so many times? What is it about us? Why do you love us? And also, what would you like to see, right? Use that feedback loop to feed into your future products, right? Okay, so let's dive into system number 2. Now, a brand partner of ours scaled from about $30,000 a month to $800,000 a month in less than 6 months. I don't know about you, but have you ever felt like there's just so many things that are going right and nothing can get in your way? Well, that was exactly what happened with this brand. They scaled from 30, like I said, to $800,000 a month, very profitably. Things were going swimmingly, like they were developing new products, and a week before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, their Facebook account got banned. Traffic plummeted. They went from thousands of visitors a day to almost zero. Now, they were lucky that they had built up an email list and we had a system within email that was still generating them thousands of dollars a day just from the campaigns that we were doing. But still, without that traffic, the email list and any system that is reliant on external traffic isn't going to work very well, or it's not going to work for very long, right? It's still held up for the time that they needed it to, but after a certain point of time, things are going to drop off. Now, we were able to fix things. They were able to get their some extra accounts set up. They got a backup account set up. Eventually things got sorted, so it's all good. And we were able to do that before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Actually, it was one of our partners. We don't do meta ads or Google ads or anything like that. We just focus on the retention side of things. But we were able to kind of sort that out and help them find some sources to get that extra account too. Now, this is a really good segue into system number 2, and that is you need to have more than one source of traffic. What happens if something happens to that one thing, right? If your entire business is hinged upon meta ads or Google ads or, TikTok ads or Instagram organic, what happens if the algorithm shifts? What happens if your account gets banned? What happens if you get hacked? What happens if one thing happens to your main system? Now, you can have your main system and you can have like supplementary systems, but after a certain point, and usually that's around 100K a month, you're going to want to start making sure that you have multiple sources of traffic and you have a backup so that you don't have to 100% rely on one source. Okay, so if you've got that, system 3 is absolutely pertinent. Now imagine landing a sales job. You work really, really hard for 45 days. You absolutely smash every target that you had assigned to you, only you are met with your boss in a performance review who is concerned. Have you ever felt completely misaligned or just left completely dumbfounded after a meeting? Well, that was me. When we onboarded a client, we set a target for $500,000 a month in email marketing revenue, and we doubled that target in 45 days. We hit well over $1 million a month, massive double. We were super fired up. I was sending them Slack messages. Our team was super fired up. We hopped on a call and the goalposts had completely shifted. Now, we ended up sorting this all out and we realigned expectations and said like, hey, listen, like at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we have XYZ in place. If you want us to hit this other target that is completely different than what we talked about, we need to make sure that's in place. Now, the reason I tell you this is because it is very, very important to set out and to build a system to measure your success and then to stick with it. And if it changes, that's fine. Targets change. You're probably a business owner if you're watching this. Adjust it and then let people know who are on your team. This is really, really important because if you don't have a North Star, if you don't have somewhere where you're targeting, you won't know if you actually hit success. And more often than not, that target of success will change. If you're just starting off, you might be like, oh, okay, you know what, $1,000 a month, and then it's 10,000, and then it's 50,000, and then it's 100,000, and then it's 500,000. And then, well, why not $1 million a month? And then after that, well, you know what? I want to go on and do XYZ and I want to build this company too. Okay, I want this one to hit 1.5, 2 million a month and I want to do XYZ thing. And it continues to grow, but you need to make sure that there's a system in place for that as well. Now, all of these systems are very important, but system 4 is one thing that I've seen take brands from 7 to 8 figures or 8 to multi-8 figures. Now, if you know, it is 5 to 6 times cheaper to sell to an existing customer than to sell to a new customer. Now, I don't know if you've ever bought something from a brand only to never hear from them again or until like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but most brands could successfully scale with a much higher LTV and a much lower CAC if they started focusing more on the customers that they have versus acquiring new ones. Now, obviously you need to have new customers. If you don't have new customers and you're not growing, that's going to be an issue. But most brands completely neglect the ones that they've already paid for. So this last system is a system for retention, not just acquisition. Now, what we do here is we want to continue kind of like coming full circle, continue having conversations with people. Understand like, hey, are people happy? Are your customers happy? What are they happy with? What are they not happy with? Where could you do better? Where do people typically rebuy? Why do typically people rebuy? What other supplementary products could you introduce that would help them get even better results than they're currently getting from your current product? What other products might they appreciate? What are some like completely, some products that are in the same realm, but maybe completely different products? Building a strong retention system and a system to take your existing customers and turn them into loyal, repeat VIP customers is absolutely pertinent. Now you can use loyalty programs, you can use email marketing, SMS, you can use flows. What it really comes down to is just being intentional and thinking about like, hey, if I was a consumer, what would I appreciate? And a lot of times it's just about like talking to people, right? It's a very weird thing to think about, but it's literally just talking to people, right? So anyways, I hope these 4 systems help. They are systems that I've used, like I said, to help 7- and 8-figure brands scale over the last 8 years. Now, if you do have a brand doing over $50,000 a month and you'd like help with retention and you'd like to generate more revenue and more profit from email marketing and SMS, click the link above or below this video. It should be below, and you can apply to work with us now. Thanks so much and have a great day.